Hello, hello, my name's Alexander Waters. This is my song, Digging My Own Grave. I wanted to do a little breakdown video for this as well as the other songs that I'm working on right now. I'm going to try and do this for every song I put out because I think it's really cool to kind of unpack the process of it. Just for, if people are interested. And I love talking about it. So anyway, let's dive in. Okay, so this song is very simple. It's only 4 chords on loop the whole time, which is, I don't know, becoming more rare for me. Grab my guitar. I I think the 4 chord songs are genius. I think 4 chords are all you really need a lot of the time. And for this one, that was the case. I try and spice it up a lot of the time. When I'm writing a song, I'm always like, oh, like, if it's just 4 chords, I'm like, can I do more here? Should I do more here? But with this one, it just like, been a long time since I wrote just like a nice 4 chord pop song. So that's what I wanted to do. Anyway, let's break down the production of it first, and then I'm gonna go a little bit more into the songwriting. So first we got just those 4 chords on the guitar. That was the first thing I played when I was writing this song. See if I can remember what those are. There they are. There. So what are we doing there? B flat, minor 7. Then B flat, minor 7, then B major 7, F sharp, or G flat major. Those are the 4 chords. That's all you need. Yeah, but you did see, like, I did make them like fancy chords, like we have this is minor 7 9, minor 7, major 7, but then a nice major to finish this out. So it's just a little spicy. Just guitar and vocal. For this guitar, I spent a lot more effort mixing it than I usually do. I guess not a lot more effort, but got a Universal Audio OTT, 2 reverbs. I got a small reverb and then probably a big reverb. And then a little bit of the default reverb, which I usually don't use. But I guess that just like is a smidge. Adds like a smidge of space, smidge of echo. Lead vocal. I'm not afraid of your heart. High end boost, low end cut. I feel. And here we go. This is where I get busy. This is also a pretty simple production for me. Like, it's a simple song, it's a simple production, but that was kind of like the intention behind it. And I'll talk about that more in a bit. But let's just like break down each element here. So first, we got our drums. So it looks like for this one, double layering on the kick. Boom. Took a pretty simple pattern, but then brought in that hi-hat loop to give it a little bit more live feel. This is my favorite part. This is kind of a part of the drums. I love doing this kind of thing. I mean, John Bellion's my hero, and he does this a lot where you take your voice, kind of make it part of the track. So like a lot of times especially when I'm doing drums, if it's like a rhythmic thing, I like will start doing some shit like this. And then I'm like, well, why not just put that in? And so I thought it needed a little bit more, because this is the original. Oh wait, no, that's something different. Hold on. I think it's this one. Or maybe this is also... No, that's ukulele. We'll talk about the ukulele in a second. Maybe I think I bounced this down, so maybe I don't have the original anymore. But yeah, I just kind of... I bounced it down, but basically it's just a left and right stereo, pitching it down, and then I threw some fucking plugins on there. Probably like probably a compressor, probably maybe like something to give it a little bit more of a noise, so like a cassette tape or something like that. Then we have this. This is probably my favorite texture in the whole song. It's so fire. I love how that feels, and it just sits like look how different that is. I feel my bones start to. It just fills up the space so much, and it's really simple. It's just Again, stereo. Most of these kind of textures I'm gonna put in stereo usually. It's just that. That's it. Just got my little ukulele over here. My girl. Got Amelia, my dearest. My dearest companion, Amelia the ukulele. Got her in here, and I played a little ditty that I thought worked, and then I just took it into here and did a bunch of shit to it. So 2 compressors, a lot of reverb, and then a double layer of like one of my favorite plugins in the whole world, which is the Finisher Micro from UJam. Has a bunch of cool shit. So I did Earth on that, and then of course Infinity, which gives it this really like sparkly thing. Like that's it without. Makes a bunch of little pretty noises, and then another reverb on top of that to really space it up. So this is it without. I'll just add them. Compressor, reverb 1. And there you have it. It's cute little texture there, just to give it a lot of space, but I really like how that feels. Bass. I love the bass sound on this. I always like really struggle getting a good like electric bass sound on records, I feel like, but I'm really happy with how this one turned out, which is pretty simple. It's just I have only really used the built-in Logic amps, really. I'd like to get more presets of like different amps and that kind of thing, but they're expensive, so I just like try and make do. Just threw some OTT on this, and it just feels very, very deep, very heavy, and I love this bass line too. I love how that feels. I feel my bones. Got the main vocal, our side vocals here. This one I did just our basic doubles, but then these are the fun ones. Yeah, those are awesome. I love doing shit like that, where I just can make really stupid noises and like scream. Right? And when you put it in the back and fucking drown it in reverb, it just gives a really cool texture. I feel my like it's so flat like this way, but then it's like, I don't know, it makes me think the track is like haunted and there's ghosts screaming at me, which is kind of the idea of the song. So that's, I guess, you know, creatively where I was coming from with that. Anyway, moving on, pre-chorus. I really liked this vibe. I don't remember why I just felt the inclination to do a Brit Crusher on the drums, but I just think it fucks, man. Like, that's cool, but like, it's just such a cool, like, it comes out of nowhere. It's like, I don't know, it just feels like a very different world. And so I think that's another thing that I was doing a lot of when I was making this song, is because it's so simple harmonically and structure-wise, like it's very straight ahead. Just like verse, chorus, first pre-chorus, chorus, 4 chords the whole time. I'm like, what can I do to make each section unique? So we got the Bit Crusher, and then some interesting sounds here. This is Airplane Foley that I fucked with, I think. Yeah, I really fucked with it. Oh, damn. So this is what it... Oh my god, I forgot I did that. So this is like Airplane Foley. This is just like a... I don't know what that is, like a call button or something. And then I completely fucked it up. Pitch shifted it so like I tuned it, right, to make sure it's in tune, because without it, it's just a little flat. If we compare that with the, it's a little flat. So I tuned it to make sure it's in key. I had a tape cassette, give it kind of an old school vibe. Lots of reverb, high ends and low cut to kind of solidify a little bit. Then an exciter, make it buzz, and then a little fucking weird LFO. This is called Step FX, and it's the only way that I've discovered in Bass Logic to do like an LFO thing. I really need to get myself like a shaper box or something like that, which is like a plugin that makes it easier to do this kind of pulsing thing with these sounds, but I make do, and I think it works. Spreader to put it left and right, and then lastly a little bit of overdrive. So then we get this really cool texture out of this. And I love doing that. Like, I don't know, airplanes especially have such cool sounds, but like, it doesn't matter what it is. I really love taking like life sounds, things from just like every day that you wouldn't expect to hear in a song, and just turning them into these really cool things. I feel like a lot of people do that to give us a vibe, and that's the whole instrumental in this part. It's just those three things: bass, airplane, and big crusher. And then I ran the vocal through a shitty guitar amp because I was like, give it a vibe. I don't know, it's a different, kind of makes you feel like you're in a different world from the rest of it, which I thought was pretty cool. And then here we are in the first chorus. Bringing that fucking ukulele texture back in. Like, I fucking love that. It's literally empty without it, and it just makes it so much. It's nice. Cause I'll do whatever I need to just to feel safe. Doubling just some key lyric points there that I can break down more when I talk about the songwriting. And then I got this fucking thing right here. Yo. Just nice to kind of add a little sprinkle every once in a while, especially moving between sections. Again, because it's such a simple song, I'm always trying to find ways to keep things interesting and like signal to the listener like, okay, we're moving into a different space now. The darkness is... These guys again, love those motherfuckers. Now that I can get out, oh, it kind of feels like... Yeah, same stuff pretty much as before. Back home, but I feel your eyes on me. I guess I did leave the guitar out for this, which is nice. The darkness isn't so loud. Kind of doing something little to change each section so it's different. But I feel your eyes. Then you bring it back in here with our ukulele texture. God bless him. Every night as I fall asleep, back into the pre-chorus. Pretty much the same stuff here. I did do a little bit of messing with this, which I thought was neat. Just pitching it up. Kind of a little ee in the background. Again, this whole kind of vibe that like the track is haunted and there's like spooky ooky ghosts everywhere it's speaking to you, which I like. And here's that airplane again. God, fucking love airplane noises, dude. I use them all the time. And another song I have coming out this month, you'll see. It's like a whole airplane song. It's awesome. Like that, this is such an important thing right here, having this like white noise to move between the sections, because if you take it out, it's like that's like because I decided to go in with like this acoustic thing, which I'll talk about in a second. Like if you go into that straight, like it just feels really jarring or like almost like unintentional in a way. Like you get a little bit of leftover from this, which kind of pads it, but like even if we took this out, it's like, I don't know, it just feels very abrupt, but having this pad, like this texture beneath, now we're like, oh, we're kind of eased into it. So it's like transitional sounds like this guy right here, or the whoo earlier, are just so important and really glue a track together, I feel like. Anyway, This is just, I love doing this sometimes where I just turn up, I can even do it right now if I turn up the gain on my mic. You can hear all the room noise. 'Cause I'm afraid. 'Cause I like it that way. And I love doing that. I don't know why. I guess it goes back to this, like, I just really like natural sounds. I fucking love room noise. Like, just the sound of a room. It's so nice. It's just so relaxing, right? I don't know why, I just love it. And so I thought, again, for this song, like, and the kind of general, like, feelings I had about it and how I wanted it to come across and what it kind of represented to me at this point in my journey as a songwriter was, like, really exposed and really open and honest. And I feel like just throwing in a section of this that's basically like a voice memo, where it's just me and the guitar and nothing on it. I think I did treat it a little bit, of course, to make it pop, but even if I'm taking my own grave. And then we get into the big section. And now we're rocking. Now we're doing it. Yeah, but I just feel like, especially, this also is a really great example of, like, contrast and tension and release in composition, which is something that I think is, like, maybe if you had to pick, like, okay, this might be, like, if you had to pick the most important thing in music that makes, like, music good, I feel like tension release is up there. It's like maybe it's like that or rhythm are both, but it's huge. So it's like something that I do all the time that I think about a lot is, like, make sure that the quietest part of the song and the loudest part of the song are right next to each other, and they kind of lead in and work with each other so you can feel the contrast. Especially because if this is the climax of the song, that kind of lands us in this really energetic place that's sort of been hinted at throughout, like with these bad boys, you know? So it's like the whole time I feel like we're kind of in this spooky, like, ooh, we're in this world of, like, where are we? What's going on? And there's like ghosts and, like, oogie boogie monsters that sound like this. Yeah. Just kind of walking around, and then that finally finds its, like, point here, and then we kind of get that release that we've kind of been hinted at the whole song, and that's made even more satisfying because we approach it with this section that's so stripped back. And then this, like, leading, again, transitional noises. Got some fucked up guitars. This is also something I like to do. I just recorded this straight from my amp. I mean, and then put a little spice on it. Big drums. Add the acoustic in there too. Bring the bass back. And this is like classic me thing. And probably a lot of people do this, is like have everything. Just have everything. Come back in for the final part. And then, you know, we have finally me singing it like this as well. And then, oh, these bad boys. Fuck these up. Overdrive the hell out of those. So these are our ghosts coming back again with a vengeance. Also duplicating and overdriving the lead. And then the big ones with lots of space in the back. I layer vocals so fucking much, dude. It's a problem. It's an epidemic. This isn't even that bad. It's like, but I don't know. It's my sound. I like it. I like doing that a lot. And then we have guitar solo. Chill out back in these other establishing textures. I'm really proud of this guitar solo. I'm not gonna lie. I'm really shitty at guitar solos. I'm really bad at them. I'm pretty confident in my abilities as a guitar player, except when it comes to like, I don't know, like fucking Van Halen, Metallica, single note, fast stuff. I cannot do that shit to save my life. And so like this guitar solo, I think, hits. I was like nervous about it. When I was getting ready to put out the song, I was like, should I like re-record this, or should I like get someone else to play the guitar solo instead? Because I feel like, or maybe I was considering just cutting it too. I was like, does this song need a guitar solo? But I showed it to one of my good friends, and she was like, man, that solo fucks. And I was like, okay, I guess we'll keep the guitar solo, and why not? You know, it's like, it kind of brings us into this sort of rock and roll vibe at the end, when the whole part has been kind of the spooky, fragile pop vibe. So we're kind of like, again, building, and then here is where we really explode. Have a good time. Okay, cool. So that's things on the production side. Just to kind of quickly break down the songwriting side of this. You know, let me just kind of get myself back in that. I'm not afraid of the dark. I got a sky full of stars. I'm not afraid of who you are. I'm not afraid of your heart. Yeah. So these whole like verses are basically me just kind of giving context for the feeling behind it. Like, I remember when I wrote this song, it was really late at night, and I just was having a very bad night, a very bad day, and I just kind of got this feeling of like, I wanted to write something really dark in a way that kind of spoke to like the darker places in my head in a very soft way, but also like embracing those things at the same time. Because the first line is, I'm not afraid of the dark. I'm not afraid of it, because I've got a sky full of stars. So it's like being like embracing kind of that darkness and accepting it as a part of who you are, and kind of learning to love it in a weird way too. Because it's like, you know, I mean, I've struggled with mental health a lot in my life, and I feel like there are times when I'm in a very, very dark place, but it's like, sometimes you just have to accept that's a part of who you are too, and that's like, if you really want to truly love every part of yourself, you have to love the scary parts as well. And that's kind of what the whole song is about at its core. And it kind of, I feel like, brings that out with the sonic choices. Yeah. I feel my bones start to unfold like paper cranes in the rain. I start to drift away. Just reminding myself of the lyrics. That's again just saying, like, you know, falling apart. Like paper cranes in the rain, I start to drift away. Kind of losing sense of yourself. And then we go into the pre-chorus where the subject kind of changes. When I look at you, my heart splits in two, because there's really a man's name. So I didn't get to think the pre-chorus, this might be my favorite lyrics in the song. Because I wrote this right over there in front of my mirror. And I was looking at myself while I was writing it. And I was like kind of talking to myself, or having these two sides of myself talk to themselves, of like the me that I, you know, is the me that I'm comfortable in my everyday life, and then kind of this darker version that I feel like everyone has. You know, everyone has things that they're not proud of, or that their insecurities or their flaws that they kind of look at and try not to look at. But this whole song is about, you know, really looking at those things. And the first pre-chorus is saying, when you look at me. Oh, sorry. This one's saying, when I look at you. The second one says, when you look at me. When I look at you, my whole world falls into, because there's one of me and there's none of you, so why do you get to make all the rules? Which is, that's saying, like, you know, I'm looking at this darker side of myself and I'm falling apart because of it. I'm the one in charge. You should be nothing. And so why are you bullying me around? Why are you bossing me around? Why am I letting all my doubts and self-fault insecurities and flaws define who I am? Now go to the chorus.
But I like it that way, 'cause I'll do whatever I need to just to feel safe, even if I'm digging my own grave.
Yeah, same vibe basically. You know, I'm afraid, but that's who I am. And I think the line, doing whatever I have to feel safe, is kind of saying two things at the same time, which is one, kind of being the darker side, saying like, I will, you know, hurt myself to feel safe. I will dig my own grave. I will, you know, do things that aren't good for me, or that, you know, lean into my bad habits just to make sure I feel okay. But I think also at the same time, the lighter side of that is saying like, I don't know, like, do whatever I need to just to feel safe. Maybe there's also kind of the brighter side of like, there is kind of a darker side here, but I'm going to accept it. And maybe through accepting that, I can kind of find more, I don't know, safety in myself.
The darkness isn't so loud now that I can't get out. Oh, it kind of feels like home, as long as I am alone.
You know, expanding on these themes, darkness feels like home, right? This darker side of myself. What did I say after that shit?
Now that I can.
Yeah, sometimes you feel like you're stuck there in that place. And so you kind of get used to it in a weird way. And it starts to feel safe, but then also that starts to become a crutch, and you sort of get like, you know, you dig yourself deeper just to feel better.
It kind of feels like home, but I feel your eyes on me.
Again, kind of pulling back to like, I'm looking at myself, this darker side, this lighter side, or trying to figure each other out.
Every night as I fall asleep, I know you're there. I feel your share, but at this point, I don't care.
I feel like those lyrics are pretty self-explanatory in context with the rest of everything. So I'm going to kind of let those breathe a little bit. You can take with that what you will.
When you look at me, I wonder what you see. Because there's one you and there's none of me. So what I guess to
That is something I do a lot in my songs, that I is like taking the same lyrical structure and sort of flipping it on its head. So like the first time, it's me, like the me seeing the darker side, and now it's the darker side seeing me, kind of playing off the last lyrics of like, I feel your stare, but at this point I don't care. when you look at me, I wonder what you see. Because now we're saying, instead of there's one of me, there's none of you, there's none of me, there's one of you, or whatever I said. One of you. So now we're kind of saying, okay, maybe you're the real one and I'm not the real one. So why don't I get to leave? I just feel like I'm stuck here. You know. Then going back into the chorus, saying what we're saying.
I'm afraid.
Ending it up here with the ooze. So yeah, I think to sum things up, this song is just about like kind of wrestling with yourself and trying to make peace with you know, who you want to be and the good parts of yourself and the parts of yourself that you're proud of, that you love, that you cherish, and the parts that maybe you wish were different, wish were better, wish were not the way they were, but they're still just as much a part of you. And it's like, what are you going to do about that? Well, you're going to work to improve as best you can, and you're going to love yourself while doing it, because it's like the only way to improve on these kinds of things is to really embrace and love every part of yourself while you're doing it, even the scary parts. Because if you just like hate those parts constantly and try and like purge them and kill them, then they're just gonna fight back, you know. So it's sort of like not you know, not making excuses, not saying like, oh, this is just the way I am, I'm never going to change, but saying like, okay, you know, there are parts of me that I wish were better, or that I want to work on, but you know, I still am going to love all of myself, because that's what makes me happy, and I have to accept that this is who I am and this is what I'm working with, and you know, I will continue to strive to be better, but you're never, you know, you'll never like win, you never finish self-improvement, you just keep going, and there's always going to be parts of yourself that you wish you could change, and you just, in order to really truly be happy, I feel like you kind of have to accept those parts as they are, and not be afraid to sit down and play some cards with them sometime. So anyway, that's what this song's about. This was fun. I'm gonna make some more of these tonight and post them up later. So I hope you enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed the song. I hope you enjoyed learning about the song, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.